welcome Deleanna Allen to the first segment of a new experiment that I'm trying here at the credit union called Time with the Team. And what the goal is in this is for the employees of the credit union to all get to know each other as we work remotely more and more. And, we're spread out between, 14 locations. A lot of people may know a name, but not the person behind the name. So, this is just an attempt to create more of a camaraderie within the organization and, promote more teamwork. And sometimes when you know a person and you know what makes them tick, you know what their likes and dislikes are, it just makes working with them more pleasurable and smoother.
Yeah.
So with that, Delaney, I'd like to welcome you to the first edition of Time with the Team.
Thank you. Hello.
And thanks for volunteering to do this. I being the first one is never easy because it's not like you can go on to other ones and see how other people did. So
Right.
you're setting the bar, and I feel sorry for everybody behind you because I know you and you set the bar high in everything that you do.
Oh, thanks.
So, let me just start out by asking you. So how did you become part of Public Service Credit Union? What got you here?
Well, back in 2014, I was a sophomore in college. So I was working at a fast food restaurant. And I just wanted to get out of it. So I applied to work on the mobile truck, which what I drive now, but then it was me, Laura, and a few more employees. And then I just started with the credit union then as a part-time employee. So we were constantly on the go. I started in May, so I started in the summertime where the season we have so many events and so many segs and places to go and people to meet. So that's how I started.
So it was still set up as a branch then, wasn't it? It was a
Yes, so
remote
it
branch.
was completely different than now. Then there was a member service station on the truck, and there was a teller window. So no matter what event we went to, we set up as a branch on the go
Oh,
with the cash drawer and the ATM and laptops and everything like that.
and how did that go with the? Was I mean that makes it very difficult because you're, trying to do teller transactions and marketing all at the same time.
All at the same time. So it was constantly like, for example, when we did the senior homes, we did about 6 locations in a day. So we set up the truck and broke down the truck every location. We had to set up the drawers, set up the computers. Sometimes the Wi-Fi, depending on the location, was kind of iffy. So I was constantly moving. All the while trying to promote the credit union. So we would even open accounts right on the spot, no matter where we were. So it was completely different than now.
So how does that change from what you're doing now?
Right now, I think where the focus is more so just promoting the credit union and, as the brand ambassador, setting like the tone of who we are. So at any event, I try to be very welcoming, even when we're at a carnival to Relay for Life, which is more like a fundraiser. We just try to set the atmosphere of what we're all about, all the while promoting our products and services to anyone that comes up that's willing to speak with us, even if it's for 2 minutes.
So do you think having the mobile unit sets us apart from, other people that are at these events?
It does, because I think we're one of the only ones in the state that has anything like that. Even with, a lot of companies, it's popular now to even have like the vans or the small SUVs and things like that. But I don't even see that when we go to different events. So just having the truck alone, whether we're with financial institutions or just a regular company, we stand out. I mean, it's a big box truck on top of the fact that we have so many amenities to it. So the radio, the TV, the basketball rim, the game system, and even before the pandemic and COVID, you can come inside the truck and get warm or get cool depending on the season. So it was year-round events we were doing prior to the pandemic. So we stood out from that alone.
Cool. That makes me glad to hear that. Yeah. Because when we purchased that, we knew it was a shot in the dark, but but I
It's
think you're part of what makes that so successful. I think it's your personality, the way I've seen you interact with people that come up to it, and the truck may be part of it, but you're definitely a big part of it. So, what is it you enjoy most about your job? What makes it fun for you, or what makes it?
um I think the most fun that I enjoy about everything, it's unpredictable. So no matter where we go, we're not going to have the same crowd. We're not going to have the same weather, the same, success or turnout. So no matter what the event, it's the people that we get to meet. And then even when members recognize who we are, that I think that's the part that really brightens my day when we go to events, because we can be anywhere and our members are all across the board, and to show that we're making a difference in their lives to where they even want to come up and tell everybody who's around, this is my credit union. So many people don't want to promote who they bank with, so it shows what type of relationships that we have with our members and that we are making an impact whether they're in the branch or outside of the branch.
And I know exactly what you mean because I know sometimes I'll go somewhere and I'm wearing a logo shirt, and
Mhm.
someone will come up to me and say, "Oh, that's my credit union," or I've even where I've used a debit card or a credit card, with that,
Hmm.
and someone behind me in line sees it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my credit union too, and I love that. Or the cashier will sometimes say, "Oh, I bank there," So
Yeah.
yeah, so I know what you're talking about, that feeling. But so I'm assuming obviously you have other aspirations and career goals, and so what would you like to see yourself doing? What's your long range?
My long-term goal with my career. So, for those who don't know, I received a degree in marketing. So I'm really creative, and I'm always, trying to do new things, and I'm innovative. And even if you see me on Yammer, I'm always sharing the ideas that come in my head. So eventually, I would want to be or see myself being more hands-on in the marketing department. I have, a foot in it now, but being mostly hands-on in that, and eventually in some form of leadership. Um, because with all of the knowledge and the skills that I have working in the credit union industry for over 6 years now, I feel that I can, you know, give that to other people as it was given to me by so many mentors within the credit union.
But I think you have that unique ability to really put together what you see on both sides of that, from the inside of the credit union and as a member of the credit union, and talking to the members.
Yes.
You're one of those people that really absorb everything around you. And I think you will be remarkable in putting all that into, exactly what you're talking about, is how do we promote the credit union in a way that relates to everybody we're trying to attract.
Yeah, I
So
think my experience with being on the front line, so as a teller and as a sales rep, and even coming from back office, and then, like you said, being out in the community, seeing the needs and wants of members, it gives me a larger window to have different, I can adapt to different, situations and things like that. So I'm not just one minded. I have so many areas where I know or think I know what people want.
yeah, no, and you excel in anything you've touched. You really excelled at your whole time that I've known you.
Oh,
So
thank
I have no doubt that you will accomplish everything you're setting out to do. So but work aside. So what do you like to do in your off time when you're not at work? If Do we allow you any time off? I'm not really sure
you. I make
because I know a lot of you
time.
don't have a 9 to 5 schedule by any means.
I don't. And I have a really supportive family and a group of friends that really they know that. So any free time that I have, it's spent with them really, trying to do new things, trying to be COVID safe. So this past weekend was my first time golfing, and I went to Top Golf, and it's harder than I thought. So
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I think because I messed up the most of the time, that was the fun part about it. So
You
it's
went to Top Golf?
yes, the one in Auburn Hills, like
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
Lakes. Yeah, it was.
Did you go with some people from work? Because I
I
heard you
didn't.
had a group going.
I didn't.
Oh,
It
okay.
was friends outside of work. But if anyone wants to go,
It's fun. I heard you shoot at a target or something.
yeah. So they have about 6 targets, some close, some far, and then they have different games you could play. So we played I guess the popular one that's called Top Golf, and whoever hits the furthest gets the most points. Yeah, I didn't even. It wasn't good, but
But you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. But
Okay.
I'm super adventurous and I'm always down for new things. As long as it's not a haunted house because I hate haunted houses.
Oh, even
But
this time of year? This time of year, you should. No?
yeah, no. But that's
Okay.
pretty much it. Outside of work, I just spend it with family and friends all the time.
And as you said, COVID has had a big impact. Are you feeling
Yeah.
that COVID
So
impacted?
during the first part of the pandemic, when everyone was home, it was just me and my mom, and we bonded differently. Like, like
Is that good or bad?
it's good. Overall, it's good. So we now that she sees me as an adult, we had our conversations are different and things like that. So we were able to learn like the new us, I guess that's what you would call it. So
Uh,
it was different.
well, and I'll bet you, 10 years from now, when you look back at it, you'll cherish that because you probably took more time than you ever would have had
Yes,
it not been for COVID.
yes, absolutely.
And there is some of the, there's not a lot good about this, but I've got to agree with you. That is one of the better things that has happened.
Yes, spending time with family and friends 24 hours a day. Yeah.
Well, what we noticed, for instance, in our house is that we used to socialize more with groups of people,
Mm.
where you'd have 10 people over, let's say.
Hmm.
But then, as a result of COVID, once we got to the point where we couldn't just stand each other nonstop anymore, so we'd invite one other couple over.
Okay.
And so we try to be socially smart and, sit around the table, but we're all spaced.
Yeah.
Um, but, what we found in it is that we really took the time to get to know that one other couple.
Hmm.
Where in a group of people, you never spend that time, in a quality conversation.
Yeah.
Found we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
Because
I,
I still live at home with my mom. So typically, when I used to get off of work, it would be around 6 or 7. So I'm coming home and I'm getting ready for bed. So even though we had, interaction, I thought that was a lot then because I'm like, well, I see her every day. I'm at home with my mom, but during, the pandemic, we actually sat and talked and went through pictures. So I learned a lot about, my family that I didn't know. So it was good.
good, good. So let me just end this here. So, part of our goal is to get to know employees better and get to know each other better. So, this is an opportunity. Tell us something. Tell all of us. Remember, we're all listening here. Something about you that nobody would know or would be surprised to know about you. And I'm putting you on the spot with a question like that, but
What's something? I love musicals. So I listen
good.
to Hamilton on my phone every day.
You're kidding. The music's not even that good in it.
I know and what's crazy during the pandemic when they put Hamilton on Disney Plus, I watched it one time and I'm like, this is not a good musical. And then everyone's like, I think it was Ashley and Megan on Facebook told me, listen to the soundtrack. Ever since that day, I listen to it every single day. Like
No kidding.
it gets me through. So I'm a big musical junkie.
I'm surprised by that. So I know that when I brought this up, I kind of gave you an idea of what we would talk about here. But one of the things that I didn't discuss with you, so I don't mean to throw a curveball at you here, but
Okay.
I will anyway. So if you're talking to the rest of the employees here in the credit union, what advice do you give them you know, to make their time here the best it can be for them?
What advice would I give? Um, I think the best advice I would give is to try to stay positive throughout any situation. I can say, for myself, things are going to change forever, no matter what situation you're in. So just try to make the best out of it. Try to grow within the credit union because it will open your eyes to a lot of things. I know for me, when I was a teller, I was very nervous to step outside of my comfort zone, and to step outside of what I enjoyed doing because I really enjoyed being a teller. But me stepping into the sales team and then stepping into business development and marketing, it really has opened my eyes to the industry, not just within public service. And take advantage of any opportunity you can. So I know we're not going to conferences or anything like that, but webinars or just do research on different opportunities that's out there because a lot of things are free. So if you're trying to grow and make this a career, really try to step out of your comfort zone and get to know the industry, not just public service. Because if you know the industry, it could help your career within this one organization alone.
Kudos to you. Now I see why you're so successful. I mean, honestly, God, that was a perfect answer. Is to challenge yourself, to take the initiative yourself to grow, and
Yeah.
that's great advice.
And communicate. Use Yammer. If you have ideas, just share them. Because, or if you have questions, our teachers always said this while I was in school. The question that you're afraid to ask, maybe someone else is afraid as well, but you have the same question, but it's going unanswered because you're not speaking up. So everyone just communicate. You know, if you're
That is so true. And the same thing about where you talk about Yammer. The executive team looks at any suggestions in Yammer every month in our team meetings, and you are one of the people that constantly have. No, but it's great. I mean, even if your suggestion isn't one that we run with,
yeah,
so often it'll spark another idea that someone else sees in your idea,
yeah.
or so it really is. It's kind of like a remote brainstorming, and it's invaluable to us. So, I
But it
really
takes
appreciate how much effort you put into it.
there's different teams and different branches and everything like that, but it takes everyone as a whole to make the credit union work. So from the executives down to whoever, everyone has to work together to make the organization stay afloat and to work and to grow. So
You know what? That I couldn't have said that better myself, and that's a great way to end this interview because you know that is something we should all live by.
yeah,
So thank you so much for taking the time. I
thank
appreciate
you.
you. As I said at the beginning of this, you're setting the bar, so I feel sorry for everybody going behind you,
I'm
but
sorry.
you did an awesome job with it. So thanks so much for being part of this.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks,
Bye,
Deleanna.
Dean.
Bye bye.